In the world of network security, there's a configuration setting called default deny. It means nothing gets in the network unless it's explicitly allowed. And if that traffic isn't on the list, it gets dropped, blocked, and terminated. See, most modern fathers are running their home on default allowed. They let the culture walk right in through the front door. They let the algorithm come in through the iPad. They let the school systems walk in through the textbooks. And then they sit there and wonder why children are infected with anxiety, confusion, and rebellion. Gentlemen, you are the firewall. And a firewall isn't just a wall of stone. It's a filter of intelligence. It inspects every packet of information trying to cross the perimeter and asks one question: is this safe for the system? If you aren't filtering a signal, you aren't protecting a house. Today, we're talking about 5 specific threats you need to block right now to keep your family operating system secure. One of the loudest signals in the culture right now is the malware of fear. See, we turn on the news, open up X, and look at the headlines. All of these things are designed to induce panic and control your emotions. Economic collapse, pandemics, wars, climate doom. See, if you let this unfiltered stream of hysteria into your home, you're installing anxiety directly into your children. And a frightened child can't grow. They can only survive. See, Paul told Timothy exactly what kind of spirit we operate with. In 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 17 says, "For God hath not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and love and of one sound mind." See, sound mind in Greek implies self-discipline and self-control. Panic is the loss of control. And if you're addicted to doom scrolling, you're teaching your kids the world is too scary to conquer. See, what you could do about this is block the news in common areas. You shouldn't have 24/7 news cycles running in the living room background, because this background radiation could be toxic for the mind. You should also filter your own reactions to this news and be mindful how you speak of it around your kids. So when you hear bad news, we should practice not venting anxiety to our spouses or our kids. Take a moment to process this information with God first. You can politic about this stuff with your friends and other men. And when you get to your family, because this news will eventually get around to your family of whatever is going on in the world, because everyone has a phone or some access to social media to carry that news. Be cool about things. Let them know that we're aware of these things. We're prepared. We'll be fine. Hold on. Before we go any further, time out. You value content that help you lead, protect, and build stronger systems at home? Hit the subscribe, tap the like, drop a comment. So this content reach more people who's looking for discipline, intention, and accountability. All right, back to the episode. Threat number 2, the Trojan horse of lust. I consider this the Trojan heart because it doesn't seem like a threat at first. It looks like a music video. It looks like a Netflix series, or it looks like an innocent enemy. But to be real with you, inside that package, it's a payload that destroys the ability to love, to commit, and to see people as human beings made in God's image. Man, we really living in a hypersexualized culture right now. And honestly, if you don't actively block these things, our sons and daughters are going to be disciplined by promiscuous, pornographic content before they're even 12, to be specific. King David wrote like the ultimate firewall rule for these kind of things. Psalms 101 verse 3 says, "I will set no wicked thing before my eyes. I hate the work of them that turn aside. It shall now cleave to me." It shall not cleave to me. That means it won't stick to me. Visuals honestly stick. And there's things that you can't unsee once you've seen it. So be mindful of what you put your eyes on. Aside from this verse, some practical solutions can be an open door policy. No screens in the bedrooms for the kids. All devices are used in public spaces where they could be monitored, because lust grows in the dark, hidden away, and it dies in the light. You can honestly do a content audit. You need to know at all times what shows your kids are watching. And if those shows seem too inappropriate for the kids, cut it out immediately. Don't skip the scene. Make sure you block it. Make sure you block it on kids' YouTube or whatever medium your kid watches their favorite TV shows on. And then you explain to your kids why we don't watch that in this house. Essentially, you want to block the filth and allow the purity. Moving along. Threat number 3, the phishing attack of false identity. See, phishing, for example, is when a scammer pretends to be your bank account, asking for information, and steals your password. The culture is pretending to be an authority on who your children is by filling their head with nonsense to steal their identity. The culture is doing crazy stuff right now, like telling your son His masculinity is toxic. It's telling your daughters, our daughters, her value is in her body count or her career, not her character. They sell the lie that feelings determine truth. And if we don't tell our kids who they are, the world will sell them a fake ID. Colossians chapter 2, verse 8 states, "Be aware, any man who spoils you through philosophy and vain deceit, the tradition of men after rudiments of the world and not after Christ." See, spoil here means to take captive, to kidnap. And bad ideas kidnap children's minds and influence them in the wrong way. Some things we could do daily: speak to your kids about their identity. We have to really hard code our children's identity into them before they leave the house and go off to school or wherever it may be. You are Jones or Johnson or whatever your last name is. We tell the truth, we protect the weak, and we serve the Lord. Make sure you debunk the lies as well. When you see a lie in a movie or a commercial, pause it and call it out. It might not sound cool, it might seem a little extreme, but anytime you watch things with your children, make sure you give them context to what they're watching, because that's our job as fathers, to give context and to guide and to protect. Block the lies, allow the truth. Threat number 4, the denial of service. See what a denial of service attack does? It floods the system with junk traffic so it can't do its job properly. Video games, endless YouTube shorts, and hours upon hours of gaming are denial of service attacks on your son's potential. See, I'm not against leisure, because we all need a little bit of time to unwind, but I am against lethargy. I'm against the drift. See, if our kids are spending an excessive amount of time in a virtual world, leveling up a fake character, we're neglecting to develop their real character, their God-given character. Ephesians chapter 5, verse 15 through 16 says, "See then that ye walk circumspectly, not as a fool, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil." Redeeming means buying back. You have to buy back the time from the screen. Practically, you can do this by putting creation over consumption. Offer your kids an alternative. The rule is simple. You can play the game after you build something real. Let's go for a walk. Did you work out today? Did you read? Did you clean your room? Try to redirect their energy or their time towards doing something practical that actually makes a difference. If you want to take it up a notch, you can do this as well. Adjust your router settings to where it throttles the internet connection. Set it to where the internet shuts off at a certain time so nobody has access, so they have to find something else to do with their time. Do this at no negotiations. Block the slot, allow the work. Threat number 5, the rogue connection. See, with a secure network, you don't allow connections to known malicious IP addresses. What this look like in real life, in your child's life? These are bad company. We honestly can't control everybody that our children meet, but you must filter who influences them. You're the gatekeeper of their inner circle until they're wise enough to choose for themselves. See, Proverbs chapter 13, verse 20 says, "He that walketh with the wise men shall be wise, but a companion of fools shall be destroyed." This is a non-negotiable. It doesn't say he might have a bad time. It says he shall be destroyed. And kind of goes along with the saying, birds of a feather flock together. Be mindful of who you're flocking with. That was crazy. I remember growing up, would want to go hang out with friends at their house. But if my mom didn't know them, she would offer for them to come over. And I never really understood it until after they left, when I would get the conversation of, they're not invited over here no more. Basically, this was a test, and it proved to be effective. My wife tends to do this also with our kids, where she would rather our kids' friends come over to our house because she's more comfortable with them being here, because she know how we are as a family. So that way you can see how those kids act in a normal setting around the kids. And if there's any possible influences, that way you can test out their friend groups, essentially. You could also see how those kids speak to their parents, any bad habits they may have, if they're disrespectful. And honestly, you could limit the access that your kids have to these people. I know at our home, if your kid comes over, we're going to take care of your kid as our own, as my mom used to do with people that I was friends with, or the friends that I did keep company and kept close to. So you can be the cool house, the house that all the kids want to come to. That way you can monitor the traffic, but definitely keep a close eye on them. Block the foolishness, allow the fellowship. So In closing, update the rules. Honestly, folks, a firewall that's never updated becomes useless. New threats emerge every day. You have to stay alert, have to be involved. As a parent, you have to be the one that says no to the foolishness so that God can say, well done. As a parent, you should never apologize for being strict. You should never apologize for having standards for your family. A secure system is a peaceful system. Fathers, protect your home, be the firewall.